Bitcoin breaking out yet again. So the question is, how high? Where is the next sort of objective area of interest as we do once again reference one of our long-term charts? So one of the most long-term charts that we've been having on this channel now that's been essentially kind of guiding us, on these bigger moves is going to once again be the focus of today's video, as well as some other interesting signals that are actually setting up in the more near term and some daily statistics as well. Anyways, other than that, I'm going to welcome you back to the Krown Crypto channel. It's a nice little Friday morning, at least. No, it's actually Thursday. It's Thursday. Is it Thursday? What is my... It's 9/11, but it's November 11th, so it's confusing here. Anyways, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's the 11th. No, it's the 9th. It's the 9th. Let's get into the charts right here. First things first, let's follow up on this very long-term chart, answering the question of how high does this rally go and in what time frame. So in this case, we are looking at a 5-day chart, and we're looking at the volatility versus stochastic momentum signature. Volatility represented by the BBWP indicator right here. As we have seen anytime in the past that it has gotten below about 15% or more, that has essentially been the trigger for a long-term setup that, in combination with the direction of the stochastic oscillator, has captured an average move of about 40% or over 40% in many cases over the course of just over a month. So this particular one did fire off officially back here in kind of mid to late October. So now that we are in, well, kind of like still early-ish, I'd say November, but heading into the mid portion of November, this is slowly but surely playing out. Now, I've gone through the full history of these volatility expansions that align with the direction of the stochastic oscillator for Bitcoin and found these statistics over here. There's been 11 prior setups. Of those 11 setups, when the 5-day stochastic oscillator was pointed the upside, it's actually had a 100% hit rate. This will now go to 12 out of 12, so it will maintain that 100% hit rate. And as always, I want to say it's not going to always be 100% hit rate. It is pretty amazing that it's had 12 out of 12 so far. But over time, it'd be very naive to say that maintains. But for now, yeah, still maintains its 100% hit rate. And as we have seen, the average return just for the long signals, not the short ones, but the long ones as well, the average return has been about 43% with the standard deviation of 10%. So that gives us a range of interest between about 33% all the way up to 53%. And the average amount of time in days that it's taken for Bitcoin to reach that next major high has been about 33, again, for these long-based signals. So in this case, this one fired off over here. So we are officially working on the 25th period, which will close in 2 days. So in 2 days, that'll be day number 25. So technically speaking, the next 5 to 10 day period will be right around that average, actually. So we would expect that this, is actually playing out pretty much on schedule, which is cool. Statistics are a hell of a drug, man. Fucking awesome. Anyways, of note here, that also did occur. We did see that the 5-day stochastic oscillator broke that long-term downtrend regression that did put in the highs from April and yet again in July. So that was another big change behavior. And we also got this double dot of destiny over here, which we have actually really not seen too many times before on the advanced stochastic, but that did, give a nice bias towards that upside move. Anyways, so far from where that setup was given to where Bitcoin is currently at, we've seen about almost a 38% move. So it is within the context of the first standard deviation. Now, it still hasn't hit the average return, but if we see this one go for the average or somewhere closer to the average, what would 43% look like from that entry? That would put Bitcoin about 38,000 to 38,500. That's a big area of interest just because it is one of the major breakdowns that we did see from this region over here in April, May of 2022, where Bitcoin is kind of based off this region for pretty much the whole prior year, and then, well, obviously fell on through, and the rest was history to the downside. Of course, if it goes for even more than that, we could have an area of interest, maybe 53% from that initial entry, and that would put Bitcoin at about 41,000. So still, tracking this as we go on, and coming into the next, I would say, week or two. Let's say 7 to 10 days. Those would be the two areas of interest, somewhere between like 38,000 to 41,000 bucks. Obviously, Bitcoin's kind of already fulfilled the lower end of that, but seeing as there are still more days, technically speaking, that we would kind of expect for this to play out, well, I do think that it could reach for one of those higher targets. Anyways, yeah. So just following up on that, again, timing wise, like I said, 7 to 10 days puts us where? Puts us basically, 1 week from today, like the 15th to the 20th, I would say. Again, most relevant statistically speaking. So it does not mean, however, that the rally will necessarily stop there. It does mean that there's very likely for a long-term consolidation within that region. Long-term consolidation, can put in a major range. Obviously, there will be, generally big pullbacks just because we're dealing with big numbers here. But it's not calling a reversal from there, nor is it calling continuation from there. What we need to see is a new setup populate from that region. Until then, I just want to say congratulations to people who've actually been paying attention on this fucking channel, because it's been very, very boring, especially in this region over here where we saw some of the lowest volatility for the longest time. For the longest time, but as you see over time, these things do play out, and it just requires a bit of patience. When you're dealing with a 5-day time frame, you have to have a more a more mature understanding of time, which actually, admittedly, I do not. Hopefully this was in some way helpful. Anyways, where the fuck did my notes go, man? There we go. All right, so let's move on to the next thing. Nope, not yet. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, so HPDR bands over here. We do see that this rally. Sorry, let me blow this up a little bit more. We do see that this rally has actually hit the top side of the current 50% of historic returns range high. That does imply that short term, if we do see a closure above that region, which is $37,000 today, that's at the point where really I start to see that next probably couple or $2,000 to $3,000 move to the upside occur. We do see that the next range high, the 80%, not necessarily that it has to hit there, but the next area of interest would be just below $40,000. So that would actually be in alignment with the chart that we were referencing over here. And whoops, keep on going back to the wrong one. But I'd really be cognizant of that $37,000-ish region. So far, Bitcoin's found a little bit of a pullback from there. Not anything too concerning, especially as the day just begun. 17 hours, 57 minutes, and 54 seconds left to go and counting. But so far, so good, it does look like to me. Again, to the downside, still relevant around $34,000. As long as Bitcoin's above there, any consolidation within this region is going to be favoring the boo laws. I did make a tweet about this yesterday. Volatility now curving back around, so we are seeing volatility start to explode. That is a potential early signal that yes, Bitcoin actually will break through in the more near term, and we do see that directional volatility represented by the HPDRO is starting to turn back up here as well after it literally went just to a neutral reset. So that is actually more indicative of continuation to the upside, like a breakout probably does continue. And just because I've been getting a lot of questions about these indicators, they're going to be available probably within about a week. We're still aiming for about mid-November. We're actually revamping the website and everything, and once that's all revamped, then we'll list them. And we'll make just a massive package out of all of the HPDR based indicators. There's 5 of them now. Is there 5? Yes, there's 5 of them now. And if you do have the original HPDR, then you'll just get a massive discount on it, basically. But 4 more indicators. Crazy. Holy shit, crazy. Anyways, yes, speaking of indicators, we can move on into, actually, should we go check out Stochastic Momentum? Nah, fuck it. We don't need to see it today. We saw the most important one on the 5-day. Let's go over here to the Oracle, the prime indicators. I thought that this one was also interesting. It comes at things from a completely different angle than the tools that we were just using, but it is actually giving a strong buy signal here, or did. This was about midday yesterday, at least for me over here in Dubai, when Bitcoin was around about $35,000. So that's interesting. I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have these stupid trend lines on there. But in general, it has been, I would say on the 4-hour time frame, like it's been pretty good. Just looking at the last, the last few months here, or this goes back to April, so the last 6 months or so. Yeah, it's been pretty decent, I would say. Especially this last one with this buy right here and closing right there, not bad. But so far, this would again kind of play hand in hand with, Bitcoin does seem like it wants to break out. It is a little bit concerning that this happened on a Thursday, just because based off of the daily range statistics, this is, traditionally the worst day for Bitcoin, meaning that it does have the highest probability to close negatively at 37.5. But doesn't mean that all of them are going to close like that. I mean, 37.5% did close positively, and they did have an average return of about 2.5% almost. So I think that kind of needs to be warranted to be said. Is it actually Thursday or Friday? I really am bothered by this now. It is Thursday. It is Thursday. Okay. We're Thursday. All right. We're Thursday. I am Thursday, sir. That's my pronoun, and your pronoun is Monday, fucker. Kidding. I don't even know what that means. Anyways, I should once again let you know that you can get this indicator, the daily range statistics, and the Oracle Pro, and the Market Dynamics Pro, and several other things that they are, yes, actually in the process of making for me for literally all the same price in the same package in the link in the description below. Yeah, it's a bit of a show right there, but ultimately, I do think that this does have significant value, especially as we add more and more things, even an indicator that I don't even speak about, the Krown deviation entropy down here, as you can see. But still, I'm still trying to figure that one out myself, just because there's something there with it. It's like when I have an idea for an indicator, like the theory makes sense to me, but then I have to go into price action and see, okay, does it practically work? And I haven't figured that out yet, to be quite frank with you. But when I do, I think that one's going to be pretty damn powerful for kind of playing hand in hand with a lot of the other tools that we've been looking at. So yeah, that's a good place for me to be leaving off. Yeah. With that said, I want to wish you the best of the best. Take care, much love, and happy Thursday. See you hopefully the next day that follows this one. Take care.